We are all feeling the pinch of inflation this year, not to mention the pressure to buy the perfect Christmas gift, and it can add up to be way too much. There are some ways you can help reduce your financial stress during the holidays. Here to help is registered psychologist Natasha Williams. Natasha, I'm so glad to have you in today.
Thanks for having me.
I think the conversation I'm hearing so often is, this is all costing a lot, I'm so stressed out, the list is so big, but there are practical ways we can deal with that stress, especially when it comes to things like budgeting. So today you are sharing psychological strategies. First up, you say, identify the reason for all that spending.
Yes, and it's so important because a lot of times we can say, let's just take a budget and just stick to it and that's it. But there are underlying reasons that we are spending. And as psychologists, what we do is we want to really look at what is the basis of the behavior. So that's what we study. So in the midst of doing that, we want to look at what is the actual reason that we are spending? Is it something to cover up something that we're trying to cope with? So are we using it as more of a maladaptive coping strategy?
Okay.
Is it something for anxiety or depression or reduced self-esteem? If we have to look at some of those underlying reasons so that we can really target why it is that we're spending and possibly overspending.
I mean, we're doing the work here when we look at these underlying issues.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's absolute work that we have to do because I think if we just look at some of the overarching coping strategies like budgeting and things, which are great things, but if we're not looking underneath in terms of why is it that we are, drawn to spend at such an exorbitant rate, then we really don't look at the actual source. And then what happens is that same habit ends up happening over and over again.
So next you say to separate spending and personal identity. What does this mean?
Yes. So a lot of times what we look at is the why are we spending? Well, what we do is as psychologists, we look at what we call coping, not only just coping mechanisms, but what we call core beliefs. These are beliefs that we have about ourselves. But a lot of times other people fuel these core beliefs, meaning that, am I a bad person? How does this other person see me if I don't spend this money or if I don't, buy this gift? So what we now need to look at is our personal identity connected to what it is that we're purchasing and buying or how other people view us? And what we need to do is separate that and understand who we are as core individuals, the essence of who we are, so that we're separating it from something that is monetary or something that is like a physical thing.
So the pressure to measure up or impress plays into that. It can really honestly make this feel like a competition.
Right.
So what do we do when we realize that that's how we're feeling?
I think usually in those moments, again, a lot of it is going to be separation. Why is it that we're putting so much stock in what another person thinks about us? Yes, they may be an important person, but if we know that our true core and true essence is, we are a kind person, we are a generous person, and those kinds of things, we have to basically scale back to who we are as our core selves. Understanding people may have influence, but they truly don't know how we are working on a day-to-day basis.
What would you recommend for people who are looking at this holiday season and they know that it just can't happen? They do not have the funds, they do not have the means to buy the things they want to have. What do you say to that person?
So what I usually would say to someone in that situation is, what is the true essence of the holiday season? So for a lot of times, it's the giving. Not only just the giving, but giving of self, of time, of energy, a lot of times volunteerism. So how do we, do certain things that are for the betterment of, fellow man. So again, volunteering, going to like the food banks. And even if we're gathering as family, it's not about spending all of this money and the gifts. The underlying core essence is I'm able to spend time with the people that I love. And if we go back to the true roots of the holiday season, then our aim is that we don't feel that we have to spend all of this money and give gifts to find out that unfortunately we don't have anything to give or to have in the new year.
That plays into the big picture, thinking
Absolutely.
Beyond the holiday season
Right.
and kind of the life that you want to live.
Exactly. What is it that I'm looking at? What are my goals going into the new year? If January I'm empty-handed, then unfortunately it's going to take some more time to build in terms of what is it that I really want to do? What does my budget look like? What do I want in terms of, future vacation or any type of future goals? We want to think beyond the holiday season.
Natasha, you always come in and then you give us these big goals to work on, and I love it. It's this food for the soul. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.